Hi, these will be the people listening to my speech today. For my topic, I chose to do concussions. My purpose for this speech is to inform you all about the dangers of concussions, particularly in the game of football, explaining the repercussions of them now and later in a player's life. How many of you have had or know someone who has suffered a concussion related to the game of football? As a sports management major and former football player myself, I know the effects of concussions and the role that they take upon a player's body. They are no fun indeed. I had one my sophomore year. It was one of the worst things I've ever had to go to. I took a huge hit from another player in a game, and I had to miss 2 games after that, and it was something that I'll never want to go through again. In my research, I have found that society may not be educating football players enough on the impact they have upon their current and long-term health. To make you all familiar with concussions, I will cover 3 topics: the impact of concussions, statistics of concussions, and what we can do to increase prevention of concussions. Before we can do anything though, we first need to learn more about what causes concussions and what the symptoms are. A concussion is a process that affects the brain, typically included by trauma to the brain. This is caused by either direct or indirect blow to the head. Concussions cause neurological impairments that may take time to recover from. During a concussion, the brain shakes forcefully, hitting the inside of a human's skull. Symptoms that occur from this include loss of consciousness, drowsiness, confusion, headache, nausea, vomiting, blurred vision, and loss of memory surrounding the injury. Concussions can be found using special testing, CT scans, MRIs, and PET scans. These tests reveal skull fractures, internal bleeding, and lesions on the brain. So those are the symptoms of concussions. That's how you find out if you have one. All the medical technology for those is unbelievable. They do a really good job of telling you if you actually do in fact have a concussion. Now, I want to inform you all on some of the eye-opening statistics regarding concussions. In 2014, 3,800,000 sports concussions were reported. Now that number is doubled from 2004 when they did the same survey. 47% of these concussions come from the game of football. And this is typically natural and normal due to the impact and the physicality of the game. 33% of these football concussions don't even occur in the games though, rather they occur during practices or contact drills, stuff like that. 1 in 5 football players will report having a concussion during the span of one season. Now, that's a lot. So say you have a team of 50 players, you're going to have 10 kids on the team get a concussion during one season. That number needs to go down significantly. A good statistic is 90% of concussions do not involve losing consciousness. Now, that's still a lot because the other 10% that does lose consciousness, that's scary, and we need to reduce that as well. Now, for my prop, I have a poster board here, and it just shows some more statistics I have here. This one up top is the most common on-field symptoms of concussion, and the most common symptom of football players is headaches from all the hitting they do. This statistic down here is the top 5 sports with the highest rate of concussions. Obviously, football is at the top, around 74%. What I found interesting was, in second place was boys ice hockey. Third was boys lacrosse. Fourth was girls soccer. And 5th was girls lacrosse. Over here, we have the games missed after concussion. And the crazy thing is, the numbers are high for the players either missing 0 or 1 game, which I think is crazy because if you have a concussion, you obviously need time for it to heal, and you shouldn't be going out and playing right away after your concussion. Now that you've heard the numbers, what more can we do to prevent concussions and make the numbers go down? The number of kids and young adults playing our great game of football has gone down significantly, and the main reason of this is parents are scared to let their kids play the game. The NFL and numerous other football organizations have spent countless time and money researching concussions. However, nothing has seemed to work to this point. Preventing concussions, I think, starts when the kids are really young playing Pop Warner football. Coaches need to inform players at a young age to first off make sure they are wearing and using the right equipment. Coaches also need to focus on and stress the concepts of playing by the rules. Concussions can be avoided if you do not hit with your head like you're supposed to. Another statistic I talked about earlier is how most of the concussions don't even occur in the games, they occur during practice. Coaches need to be more aware of the fact that there are rules that state you are only allowed to have contact during 2/3 of a practice. This would take away some of the full-speed collisions and blocking and drills that make the kids have concussions. In conclusion, there are many problems that concussions cause in the game of football for a player's health and safety. I hope you all are informed on the impact of concussions on a player's life as well as repercussions it can have on their life forever. Please use this information I talked about if you or someone you know is already playing or will begin to play the game of football. Thank you all for listening as I informed you about the dangers of concussions.